Alejandro Garnacho is in trouble. Amorim backs Andre Onana, but does he mean every word he said in the pre-match press conference before our game against Fulham? Welcome to the Net of Sport. My name is Webb, and let's get it, guys. First of all, it's a happy weekend for me because my brother Keke welcomed the bouncing baby girl. My brother, it was amazing, I think, and everyone, I think, is so happy and excited. I hope the arrival of this gorgeous baby coincides with the perhaps the sparking off again of Manchester United that has been looking dull lately. I hope this is the good omen we needed. But anyway, let's get into it. So Ruben Amorim has spoken in the pre-match press conference before Tottenham, and he has spoken about quite a number of things, including Alejandro Garnacho's behavior, which we know in the era of Ruben Amorim is definitely unacceptable. You don't walk off the pitch because you've been substituted. We've seen players like Zaxi before dealt with for doing the same. For Alejandro Garnacho, as Man United beat Ipswich, remember when he got a red card, he was sacrificed. He was having a good run, of course, wasting a bit and being selfish at times, but he was feeling like I think he was going to score a goal or create something because he was making good runs and stuff. He was having fun. So he was definitely disappointed with being the one to have to go off. And of course, I know so many fans as well who are saying, why Garnacho of all players? But the end justifies the means. At the end of the day, we saw that Amorim was right because his decision paid off because United eventually managed to win the game. And that's all that matters. It's not about any individual, Garnacho or who. It's about the team and the objective of winning the game. So United wins the game, and Garnacho, who just walked straight into the tunnel after being substituted off, certainly had to deal with Amorim. And he said he spoke to him. It's Garnacho who went to him. And, after them talking, and I think he told him, have those little things also. For a club like Man United, they matter because, again, people are now talking about that. So the perception you create if you're substituted and you go walk straight into the tunnel is not good in the eyes of those so many billions of people who are watching Man United. It creates a sense of, and selfishness or non-togetherness among the players, because if I'm sacrificed when you've got a red card, I should understand that it's about the team, it's not about me, because eventually Amorim had to bring on a defensive-minded player because of the numerical disadvantage. So he says he spoke to Garnacho, and of course they agree that his punishment is was that he would buy lunch for the entire team, I think, or something. But for me, I I feel bad for Alejandro Garnacho, to be honest. I think perhaps at a few weeks ago, Garnacho perhaps was out of the woods, because we do know that him, just like Marcus Rashford, sort of did not give a good first impression to Ruben Amorim. And for Rashford, of course, we know where he is now, balling by the way for fun, creating chances for fun at Aston Villa. But for Garnacho, things changed. He seemed to have responded and done what was expected of him by Amorim. But now going back and sliding into this behavior, I feel for me, going into a summer, I feel Amorim might just decide to part ways with Alejandro Garnacho, regardless what the people out there think. I think he might. And I know that Amorim spoke about him and said he's a young player and he should understand and the frustration. But you see, you've got to deal with it at this level. You're not young when you're playing so many games like Garnacho does. You've got to behave like a mature person, especially understanding the situation the club is in, that any minor behavior is going to be misinterpreted and perhaps labeled as you fighting the coach, or you don't want to play for the coach. So I think Garnacho should have known better, regardless him being a young player. But I feel like this doesn't put him in good books at all with Amorim. I think he has had a lot from him, dealt with it because he's a young, promising player. But I think eventually he will look ahead and say, you know what, we can get so many good young players, perhaps who are even more suited for the number 10 role that I want in my team. So, and United is already being linked with players, like of Rodrigo, Mora, name them. So if Garnacho is behaving like this towards the end of the season, towards the summer, probably he's again throwing himself more in the direction of leaving the club. If that's what he wants, he will get it. But anyway, so that's it. Now, speaking of Andre Onana, Amorim, of course, was also asked about Andre Onana and his performances that have been mediocre, to say the least, lately. And like any coach, was quick to defend him, saying that, well, he has had some bad games like everyone, but he has also had important saves that have served the team. And I've said it here before, that if it wasn't for Andre Onana, Man United would be in relegation already. I think we would have spent more time in relegation than not. So he has had his positives, but you see the thing with the goalkeeper is the few wrong things you do, especially at that level, are so scrutinized that people forget about every good in you. So for Nana, I think the wrongs have been one too many lately, and they look completely ugly on him. And of course, the club at times, and everything seems to be going against him. But I love that publicly Amorim is coming out to defend him. But of course, we know the truth. If your goalkeeper failing consistently on the basics, it doesn't look like there is a lot of patience. There is already rumors or suggestions that Man United is looking at Joan Garcia, a goalkeeper, to come in out there and push Onana or perhaps be the proper number one for Man United. So it's and people now are beginning to get convinced that perhaps United do need a good goalkeeper just as much as they need another player in other departments. Yet before, the goalkeeper wasn't, I think, top of the priorities for United. So Nana has got a lot to put in for himself. Otherwise, Amorim might be defending him now, but it's just a matter of time when he's indefendable. I mean, if you're making howlers and gaffes one after the other, I think it then becomes difficult to defend you, it doesn't it? So again, that's a bit of what's happening now. There's also been an exchange again between a Man United legend and Amorim, and I hate that these things are getting to Amorim. I think he spends time on social media, quite frankly, because he was saying he saw the statements made by Roy Keane about Bruno Fernandes and how he doesn't really quite regard him. And Amorim says, I respect King's opinion, but everyone is entitled to their own. But I also have my opinion about the captain, Bruno, and I think he's an important player, makes the team play. Yes, is he overly passionate? That's him, but and he sums it up by saying, and what matters now is my opinion because I'm the head coach, and Roy Keane isn't. That really might have sat in well. I'm waiting to see how Roy Keane will respond to that. But I think this is the kind of thick skin that Amorim will need if he's going to deal with these so-called United legends and their negativity, especially when it comes to attacking these players. I think right now the last thing Man United players need, this I agreed, and that's what I'm doing. The last thing Man United players need is us, the fans, adding a lot to the negativity that is already at Man United. We know now that the issues at the club are beyond any players. Yes, the players have issues, but I think now that we're used to their issues, we've just got to back them to finish the season as highly as they can. So if you're a United legend like Roy Keane and all you do is send negative energy after Bruno having such a good performance that inspired the win for Man United in the previous game, and again you're going back to your negatives and all, I don't think it takes the club anywhere. So for me, I will back Amorim and how he dealt with Roy Keane. I think he needs to do more of this because these legends have got to really understand that football has changed. It has moved on from them. Things are no longer as easy. United is fighting, and everyone, like they all wish to, everyone wishes that Man United gets back up where they belong. My name is Webb. This is the Network of Sport. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you later, fam.